All right, guys, how's it going? So earlier today, I recorded a video, the Something Interesting video, let's call it that. And in that video, I was talking about the Chesterfield agency and how at the moment we're being linked with more than one player from that agency. And that when you see that, more than one player being linked from the same agency, it usually means there is something going on. All right. It doesn't mean that there will be an outcome, but going on can mean communication. There is chatter. So as I explained in that video, I absolutely believe that Liverpool are talking to Chesterfield at the moment, right? Okay, so that's, if you didn't watch that video, that's what that was about, and the particular players mentioned in that video, etc. I would recommend that you can go and watch it if you can handle it, right? As I don't know how long it was. How long was it? 15 minutes, right? So in that video, just look for the one that says something interesting. So what's even more interesting is that I was browsing X and Paul Gorst of the Liverpool Echo within the last hour, I think, has put an article about Liverpool's relationship with the Chesterfield agency. How weird is that? That I was talking about that, and then that's... Do you know what I'm saying? Do you not think that's a little bit interesting? I think it's interesting. Spectre will be all over it. If you don't know who Spectre is, you're obviously not a regular around these parts. Right, so Paul Gorst included a snippet from the article which said, quote, "They are known to turn to Chesterfield in certain times when major European clubs like Liverpool are interested in their players." He then added a little bit of his own text with the tweet, the post that says, "A piece on Liverpool's now long-standing relationship with the George Mendes-owned Chesterfield agency and its importance." So you click through to the article, and it's titled "Liverpool's unofficial partnership with super agent could yet see them sign top transfer target." Now, I've had a look at this once, this article. It's sort of like, like where you fast read it. I'm going to do that again, so you might have to be patient with me. It's basically detailed or labelled as a special report from Paul Gorst on Liverpool and their unofficial partnership with the Portuguese agency. Blah, blah, blah. They're talking about the amount of money that Liverpool paid agents in the last year or something like that. Clearly then, for deal makers across planet football, the world of football, there are fortunes to be made when working with a club the size of Liverpool, and fostering healthy professional relationships can also go a long way towards the carve-up when it comes to fees paid out by buying clubs at the sharp end of European football. I'm not going to read all this nonsense out. As one of the, you talk about the agency in the world of football, George Mendes has a slew of talented hopefuls whose careers can be transformed by their allegiance to the company he owns, and the list of clients within the Chesterfield stable is indeed an impressive one. Unsurprisingly, as the biggest agency in Portugal, Mendes' group looks after the specifics for a host of Portuguese internationals, with Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes, a client alongside Man City quartet of Bernardo's Remy's under the tripod. A client alongside Man City quartet of Bernardo Silva, Ruben Diaz, Ederson and Mateus Nunes, Felix, Pedro Neto, Vitinha and Manuel Ugarte, 4 players who have been linked with the Reds to various extents in recent years. This is exactly what I spoke about in that video today, right? Can also call Chesterfield their home as far as representation goes. Such is the strength of the unofficial partnership that Liverpool were informally alerted to Fernandes and Felix during their respective periods with Sporting and Benfica, blah, 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 only for the Reds to pass on both. And then there's explanations as to why. I don't want to read the entire article out. You can go and read it, and I shouldn't read the entire article out. The club's positive terms with Chesterfield helped them get the heads up on both of those players prior to their eventual departures from the Primera Liga, and there's explanations as to why Liverpool chose not to proceed. This is interesting. At times, like the deal that took Fernandes from Sporting to United in January 2020, Chesterfield are asked to help smaller agencies complete major deals involving European giants, and it was reported that over £4 million was split between Mendes' group and Position Number, the organisation who represent Fernandez via his brother-in-law, Miguel Pino. Now, this is when I often say to you about, have you ever heard me mention third-party representatives, Liverpool Football Club, third-party representatives? Because the agents that represents a player doesn't necessarily always speak directly with the club, because there could be, tapping up going on. That maybe they shouldn't be speaking to a club. So Liverpool might employ a third-party representative. The agency might use another smaller agency or whatever to represent them, And then if the shit hits the fan, everyone can go, no, we've not done anything. You know what I mean? So, Liverpool was said to have been hugely impressed with the discretion shown by the agency when the deal to bring Fabinho to Merseyside from Monaco was concluded with minimal fuss back in 2018. Blah, blah, blah. They talk about Jota as well and how they sorted that deal out. Okay, we don't need to hear all this. There's a source is quoted, and it's strange that it's an unnamed source, because they're only talking about the agency. So this is most likely someone at Chesterfield. It's one thing Mendes knows how to do very well. Oh, actually, no, it could be someone like Edwards or something like that. I don't know, because I've not paid much attention to everything in the article. But it just says a source, so we have to work out who the source could be. It's one thing Mendes knows how to do very well. He knows when it is time to turn on the taps of information to the media, and when not to. This is when we talk about leaking things out. And it is something that I would say is always well timed. He knows when to do it. It has become very important for big clubs in Portuguese football in helping bring in revenue. They are known to turn to Chesterfield in certain times when major European clubs like Liverpool are interested in their players. So that, to me, sounds like that's someone at Liverpool, actually. I just thought maybe with it saying a source, they were going to be talking about the agency, but not going on record, if that makes sense. But actually, that's sort of like an Edwards type or something like that. I know I'm not doing very well with this video, but it's very difficult when there's a huge article to look at without wanting to read the entire article. One, to save time, and also not to upset the author of the article. And also Remy's mega excited for some reason, roaming around the room. So they talk about Lenny Yoro, and saying that Liverpool have identified the 18-year-old defender as a summer transfer target, but are mindful that Real Madrid are currently leading the chase. It is always the aim of Liverpool to build strong lasting relationships with major agencies across the game and trust with key figures who developed across years of work. The Reds don't work with intermediaries, preferring instead to remain in regular direct contact with the representative of players who may one day be real transfer targets at Anfield, like Yoro. And while the suggestion is that the Spanish and European champions Real Madrid remain in pole position should they decide to formalise their own interests, Liverpool's issue with Yoro's agents leaves them well placed to offer an alternative to one of the finest young defenders on the continent. So the article's it's a very long article, but not very good article, in my opinion. And the headline is clickbaitish. Liverpool's unofficial partnership with super agent could yet see them sign top transfer target. It could. But that, I don't know. The point I'm making here, guys, and I'm not doing very well, I'm sorry, but the dog's really getting on my nerves, is that on the very day that I talk about Liverpool's relationship with Chesterfield one more time, because we spoke about him before, and talk about the interesting, the fact that Liverpool have been linked with a couple of players on that agency's books, we are now seeing the Liverpool Echo run this article. And there's someone in this article, the source of this article is an unnamed source. The journalist is obviously, the author is known. But what I mean is the person quoted in the article, unknown to us, but a source. What they're being so fucking sneaky about. Why are we seeing that article is my point to you. We know we're linked with multiple players in that agency all the time, but we never see the Chesterfield agency mentioned. So are you telling me they've wrote that article today because I've made a video about the Chesterfield agency? Oh, that's very interesting. Do you know what I mean? I highly doubt it. Do you know what I mean? So Why are they doing it? Why are we hearing that? Do you know what I mean? I mean, like, this is literally within the last hour that this has happened, and I ain't got my head around it yet. Excuse me. So the article's bigging up the relationship and telling us how beneficial it can be and how we've worked well with them before and how much respect we've got for the Chesterfield agency before. And there's 2 players on their books at the moment that we're being linked with. And, you know, fucking dog hairs everywhere. I feel like scrapping this video and starting again, but I'm not going to. I am live on here at 7 o'clock UK time, and we will maybe talk about it then as well. You know, some of these websites are shite. But you know, Rayan 8 Lowry or whatever, that was the video we spoke about today. And Lenny Oro, both of them are at that agency. And I pointed out today that the fact that we've got this good relationship with this agency, we've been linked with 2 of their players. For me, that is enough to tell me that there is communication between that agency. And then the Echo, who, in my opinion, are speaking to someone at the club, are running an article about this fantastic relationship with the agency. But I'm absolutely baffled as to why the article's out there. Maybe you can help me in the comments. Maybe you've got a thought here. And please tell me, did you understand this video? Because I know I'm going all over with it. It's just very difficult. It's a very long article with a lot of shit in it, really. Like a filler. Do you know what I mean? Like, so they've got a little bit they want to tell you, but then they're telling you about everything else. And I don't want to read the entire article to you because it might be pointless. And 2, you know, it's not ethically right to read the entire article. And then I've got the dog going round and round in circles for some reason. I mean, you might just try to say that's just coincidence, don't? Well, 2 players at the agency linked with us. I make a video about it today, pointing it out and talking about, you know, how you should look for that when you see more than 1 player at the same agency linked with us. Always, there's something going on there, no doubt a doubt. But then the Liverpool Echo Ghost are running an article. Now, if he'd just run an article and said something similar to me today, I would have gone, yeah, there's no fishy in that. You know what I mean? He's just talking about what I'm saying. Kind of. He's not really said that in that article. But the fact that there's a source in there that's bigging up Mendes, I don't, my phone's vibrating now. I'm watching that Karen Reid trial. I keep getting notifications. For those of you that are following the Karen Reid trial, the jury are hung at the moment. They said they can't come to a decision, but the judges made them go out and continue deliberating. Just so you know, I predicted they'd want to come to a conclusion today on Friday because they want to get done before the weekend. And with the Rittenhouse trial, they did exactly the same thing, out for 3 or 4 days, whatever it was. And then they did the decision on a Friday. So I kind of saw that coming today. Interesting to see what goes on there. The dog's coming back now. What? I'm trying to make a video. Do you know why just a few? Why are they doing that? Guys, so they've got a source that wants to talk to the journalist. Why? The source has to be someone at Liverpool Football Club. Why is someone at Liverpool Football Club briefing him, talking to him? Because that's what's happening. It's not groundbreaking news, but what are they doing? They've had a conversation about, yeah, we're sniffing round your row. Yeah. No mention to the other lad at Wolves. Did you notice that? Not that I could see in the article, but maybe I read it too fast. We've got a really good... We need to focus on what the journalist... let me find it. On the source. Let's just go over what the source said. Like, why have we got an unnamed source in an article that's really not that important on paper? So a source said, and then we're going to stop the video. It's one thing Mendes knows how to do very well. He knows when it's time to turn on the taps of information to the media and when not to. Has that source been asked by said journalist, is this you putting the info out, or is it the agency putting the info out about your interest in that Wolves defender? Not Lenny Yoro, I'm thinking that Wolves defender. And the source has said, well, we've got a good relationship with him, you know, but he knows when it's time to turn on the taps of information to the media and when not to. And it is something that I would say is always well timed. He knows when to do it. So are we reading that link about that Wolves defender because it's perfect timing because of another club's interest in him, maybe? But the source then refers to Liverpool as if they're nothing to do with Liverpool, because they said they are known to turn to Chesterfield. Portuguese clubs are known to turn to Chesterfield in certain times, and major European clubs like Liverpool are interested in their players. So that makes it, is that to throw you off that it's someone at Liverpool? This is what happens in real time. Okay, so when you've had time to think about it, maybe the video would be better if I was making this video tomorrow. But I couldn't, because I saw that straight away about the Chesterfield agency, and I'm thinking, why are they telling us about a good relationship with Chesterfield when I've already spoke about it today? Slightly different, because I'm telling you about that Wolves defender, and I don't think that Wolves defender's mentioned in that article. I don't know. I apologise. If there wasn't a source quoted in the article, I'd think nothing more of that article. But if someone's talking to the journalist off record about an agency, like, why would you not turn around and say, Dave Smith or whatever thinks that this agency is whatever? So it's somewhat a bit secretive. And my opinion is that the source of that article, the person that's talking about it, wants people to know something about Liverpool and that agency, or just that agency with well-timed news. So is that a warning to us, like, don't pay much attention to it because they're just dripping news out or whatever? I need to think about it. I do apologise. If you're new to my channel, you'll probably never come back again. I don't blame you. You're not missing anything anyway, really. But if you're a long time viewer, you'll understand there are times when I make videos like this when you're trying to work it out. Any ideas? I might need your help. I'll pay special attention to the comments, and I would advise you guys do too. If you appreciate the video, as shitty as it is, please thumbs up the video. Drop me a comment. You can hit the super thanks if you want to get me a curly whirly. That's a bit of a private joke with everyone the last couple of days. Or a toothbrush or something. A beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks. I'll give you a shout out in tomorrow morning's briefing, that's right. But the most important thing with this one is the comments. Maybe go and take a look at the article and then read it in full yourself and come back and tell me what you think. I mean, or is it just me like, nah, don't, it's just coincidence, mate. Chill your brow, stop looking for something. Bit weird though, innit? Just Google this. Liverpool's unofficial partnership with super agent could yet see them sign top transfer target. That gives you hope. That's an article of hope or a headline of hope. But I can't see Lenny Yoro coming. Something would have to go wrong elsewhere for that to happen. Right, stop it. Comment. Please drop me a comment.